All right, this is Ask Ben podcast number 4. Today's question. Oh, first, I'm here with my producer Royce.
How's everybody doing?
All right, and this question is not from one specific individual. I've been asked this question probably by at least 10 people online and another 20 people in person. And it's just a general question that gets asked around a lot in the fitness community. And it's, should you count calories? Should you count macronutrients? And specifically, should you really just track all of your food, right? Or should you just not track your food, right? So really the debate is whether or not you should count calories or whether or not you shouldn't count calories, okay? What do you know about calories, Royce?
Very little. I was taught since a lot of guys that are nutrition, they get kind of frustrated with people like me that ask those type of questions.
Okay.
And so one of the fitness guys was telling me, a nutritionist was like, all right, how about this? Just make everything the size of a deck of cards. Your meat should be the size of a deck of cards, your vegetables, and then your other piece, and you'll be fine.
Okay, that's actually not bad advice. So we'll get to that. That's basically not counting calories. Mm-hmm. So that's a form of not counting calories. Is you use portion control. So just I'm not sure what level everybody listening to this podcast is. Some of you might be very, very well versed in nutrition and things like that. But basically, a calorie is a unit of energy, right? It's a unit of energy, and it's used to track food, right? How many units of energy are in food. So calories can be broken down into macronutrients, which would be protein, carbohydrates, and fat, right? Protein is lean meats, eggs, milk, things like that. Just think animal products, and then also certain plant products like hemp protein. There's pea protein, things like that. There's protein in peanut butter. They call it not incomplete, right? It doesn't have all the amino acids, but it's still protein. And carbs would be like everybody knows what carbs are, right? Chips, things like that. Terrible example, but like rice, sugar, right? Glucose, things like that. Potatoes, starches, those are carbs. And fats is oils, right? Oils, animal fats, butter, things like that. Those are fats, right? So the question again is, should you count calories? Should you count macronutrients? Should you count protein, carbs, and fat? I will give you not a straight answer, but I'm going to give a answer that is kind of like a you pick. Right, what works for you? What type of individual are you? Right, and that's kind of how nutrition works. Right, nutrition is individualized. Anybody that says a one size fits all program works for everybody is probably not the best nutritionist, to be honest. They haven't worked with enough clients. Okay, I will say that if you were to count, the one important macronutrient you should count is protein. Okay, protein is the one. Okay, why? Protein, protein requires the most energy to break down, right? Amino acids require a lot of energy to break down, and so it is actually very difficult to put on fat when you consume excess protein. Okay, there's actually many studies out there, I think by the ISSN, International something, right? ISSN, look it up. So protein is very difficult for you to put on excess fat by overeating protein. Okay, the reason you want to count is because generally you want to preserve lean muscle when you're trying to lose weight, and when you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to gain lean muscle, right? So protein is responsible for both of those things, preserving muscle and also gaining muscle, right? So you do want to count. I recommend personally, this is a personal recommendation. I know there's people that'll lean on the other sides of this. I recommend 1 gram per body weight of protein. Okay, so if I'm 180 pounds, I would eat 180 grams of protein. Okay, I hope I said that right. Does that make sense?
Sounds good to me.
So if I'm 200 pounds, I would eat 200 grams of protein. Right. This was originally told to me by somebody I consider a mentor. We've met a couple times. Alan Aragon. Okay, if you guys don't know Alan Aragon and you're in the fitness nutrition world, look him up. He has really good stuff, right? One of the leaders of the evidence-based movement, and I've been following him for probably over 10 years at this point. Okay, so that's a recommendation I got from him. Okay, is 1 gram per pound of body weight. Okay, now back to the question of should you count calories, macronutrients. Okay, I already said you should count protein if you were going to count. Okay, but let's go to one side. Okay, let's say you do want to count. Okay, I do recommend people counting in the beginning just to understand how to count. Okay, so Royce, have you ever counted calories before?
Never. I've tried and failed.
Okay, so that's actually very common. Why? Because it's tedious. Okay, I'll tell you my personal experiences with counting calories. Okay, I am terrible at counting calories. Okay, I have MyFitnessPal, right? That's the app that most people use. I think there's like other ones, but like Chronosphere, something like that. So there's other calorie counters, but MyFitnessPal is generally the one that everybody uses. And I've used it, and what happens when I use it is I'm great in the morning. You know, I'm counting, everything's perfect. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can until like 5 p.m. 5 p.m. hits. I've never once recorded a thing after 5 p.m. in my life.
Wow.
Because why? Because I get lazy. Okay, at night I got stuff to do. I'm tired. The whole day happened, and afterwards the next morning I'm scrambling. You know, trying to remember what I ate, and I don't even remember what I had for breakfast the same day. Right. So. I got off on a little tangent there, but for me personally, counting calories in the long term doesn't work. But should you count calories just to kind of know how to? Yes, I recommend most of my clients try to do it for 1 week. Okay, so just count for 1 week, and how you would do it would be don't just as soon as you eat try to enter it. Okay, take a picture of your food. All right, and then go through your phone at the end of the day and input your calories.
So in other words, you got to be like those Instagram people, take pictures of their food. You get tired of seeing that.
Maybe they had it right all along.
They had it right, huh?
So the reason we do that is because then it doesn't become as tedious, right? You take a picture and you just store it away, and at the end of the day, you enter it into MyFitnessPal. And at the end of the week, you should have an idea of how many calories you're consuming, right? And then you can steer your goals toward what your goal is, right? If you're going to gain weight, then you're going to want to eat more. If you want to lose weight, then you're probably going to eat less, right? So that the advantages of counting calories is that you are kind of in the ballpark, right? You're never going to be 100% accurate, but you're going to be in the ballpark, and you can kind of have a gauge onto what to do, all right? That doesn't work for everybody. Okay, some people can't even do the 1 week, right? And there's some people that they might never be able to count calories. So the other side of the coin is not counting calories and just kind of winging it, I guess. Okay, you never want to completely wing it, but you once you get to a certain point, like for example, for me, I kind of know how much I can eat and control my weight with just kind of like a feeling almost. Okay, it's hard to explain, but I might have explained this in a previous episode, but if not, it's fine. What I tend to do is when I'm on a diet. Okay, right now I'm not on a diet. I'm not trying. I don't have any specific goals, so I'm eating whatever I want. Trying to be as micronutrient dense with the foods as I can, trying to eat as much protein as I can, and just I'm winging it right now. Okay, but when I'm on a diet, what I'll do is I'll try to eat the same foods every day, right? So that way, every morning I know I'm eating this. Every lunch I know I'm eating this, and every dinner I know I'm eating this. I have talked about this, right?
No, but you're going on the lines of what I've learned is a lot of the times when I was around the professional fighters, they would have somebody meal prep for them the same meals all throughout the week, and that helped them burn off the weight they needed to in order to fight out a weight that they signed up for. So, I mean, a lot of them didn't know how to count calories. They had somebody do it for them, which is awesome, but not all of us could do that. But building your own meal prep and then having it at the same amount all throughout the week can help for anybody.
Yeah, that's a great point because let's say you have you have a meal prep service, whatever, Sunfare. I think Elite Eats is one of them we have locally. Whoever, doesn't matter. Somebody does your meal prep. Maybe you do it yourself. Every single day, you know the 3 meals, 5 meals, whatever it is that you eat per day, right? So if you know what you're eating every day, then it should be very easy to take out something or add in something, right? If you're at a certain weight and you've been doing meal prep and you need to lose weight, take out a meal or eat half of a meal or take things that are calorie dense out of the meal, right? If you need to gain weight, add a meal, add more calorie dense things, throw a protein shake on top of it, right? So that would be a way to kind of control your weight and control your goals without actually counting calories, right?
Yes.
And that I would say would work better for most people, assuming they have a basic understanding of nutrition, right? If you absolutely don't know anything and you just try that, it might be a little weird. Yes. So once again, if you're able to get like a meal prep service, or if you just prep your own meals, try to eat the same stuff in each meal every day. Not exactly the same, but let's try to keep the portions the same, right? If you have 8 ounces of chicken, 8 ounces of chicken, 8 ounces of beef, they're not going to have a tremendously different protein count, for example, right? It's similar. Beef probably gonna have more, but they're similar, right? So that's one way to just control. Have the same type of meal, right? If I have a Kind bar in the morning with a protein shake, right? And the rest of my meals are just standard meals, I can just take out that Kind bar in the morning. I can take out that protein shake in the morning, and that alone is going to shave calories off just naturally, right? So that's long answer to a pretty simple question, but should you count calories? Yes or no? There's no yes or no answer here. It depends on whether or not you like to count them, if it fits your style, and what your goals are, right? There are exceptions. So like all of the questions, I always want to have caveats to whether one is going to work better in a situation, or there's certain things that might happen that might lean toward one direction. And one of that is, if let's say you're a competitive bodybuilder, right? You have to be very, very strict. Okay, the difference between a couple hundred calories might be the difference between being lean enough to place in a competition, or not placing a competition. Then you might want to count, right? This is where we're being very strict here. That might be a scenario where you want to count. Okay. If you're just a general population individual who works out 3 days a week and you don't have any sports goals or any competition goals, then you probably don't need to count. You can. There's definitely nothing wrong with counting, but you should be fine with just not winging it, but just having an approach that doesn't involve counting the calories. Does that make sense, Royce?
Makes sense.
You have anything to add to this, or any questions you want to throw on top here?
Like for me, I would say I'm just a regular guy off the street that got lucky to train with pro fighters, but learning on the way and asking questions will help you, like when you're around people in the gym. So I will always say, you can always go up to somebody that's actually a pro or somebody that's doing well with their plan, and just get some ideas for them. And I understand, this is a whole nother subject about your body types, but you can always try stuff out for a good 2 weeks, and you should be able to see some type of results. And if you're not seeing any, then you should go on and try something new. But for now, I think just the portion part you're talking about will help a lot of people. And then there's some people that have to work out extra to get that weight off, or to maintain their look. Just make sure they don't add too much to their meals.
Right. The reason when you don't count, you need to keep a consistent meals is because your body, and this is also another question that we'll address another day, is your body wants to maintain homeostasis.
Mm-hmm.
You know what homeostasis is?
I heard it.
So it's staying how it is,
Mm-hmm.
like a thermometer, for example, right? If the room, we're in a AC, room with AC right now.
Yes.
Thermometer's set at 70,
Mm-hmm.
right? The room is going to naturally gravitate toward that 70 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Your body's the same. If you've been 25% body fat for 20 years, right? If you have been, then your body is not going to easily drop body fat, right? It wants to stay where it wants to be. So, that's where these you need to be consistent, right? If you're not consistent, I've seen it countless times. People are on super strict diets Monday through Friday, and then the weekend they're done. They cheat the whole weekend. Okay, why does that not work? Okay, why does that not work? We'll cover that in another episode. But the long story of why that doesn't work is because it's an energy balance equation, right? If I eat 5,000 calories a day, right, and then maybe that's too high. Let's say 2,000 calories a day. 2,000 calories a day, and Monday through Friday I'm at a deficit. I'm losing weight, and then the weekend I eat 8,000 calories a day. I basically eliminate my deficit, right? So that's long story short. We'll cover that in another episode, but I think we got it all. Should you count calories, macronutrients? The short answer is it depends, right? A lot of these questions are it depends, but find out what works for you, and that'll do it for this episode. Please send your questions to my Instagram is @CoachBZ on Instagram, and I'll see you guys soon.